Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. This is the 14th episode of Skate Talks, and my guest today is probably one of the best guys to ever put a pair of skates on. He is 36 years old, he is originally from Regina, Canada, and I don't even know what to say. I guess he's a man of many talents. Whatever he tries, is good at it. My guest today is a pro for USD, Kizer, Undercover wheels, Go Project bearings, Ennui protections. I hope I didn't forget any of these brands, but maybe the best we can do is just call Richie Eisler and check if I forgot any of his sponsors. Let's do the phone call.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
I guess we're not gonna know about his sponsors now. Should I call him again? Don't switch off these skate talk. We're gonna be able to talk with Richie. We'll try again. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We had a really nice time doing it. Not really. Let's wait a little sec. Let's just wait a second. And we're gonna make the phone call to one of the best skaters out there, Mr. Richie Eisler.
Hello?
Yo, how are you doing, Richie?
Hey, bud. How you doing?
I'm good. So I was just about to say that we're done because you didn't answer the first time, so I thought...
I'm sorry.
Nah, it's
My
all
phone, I was just sitting and looking at it and didn't react.
It's all good, man. It's all good. So, I hope I didn't forget any of your sponsors because I was just saying a few. And I don't want to make this just skating. I want to make this just a regular skate talk. But anyway, I said Kizer USD, Undercover wheels, Go Project
LOCO
bearings,
skates,
and
Go
Ennui.
Project.
Yeah.
LOCO, Go, and Noodle Brain. The Noodle heads have been helping me out.
Yeah, Noodle Brain. Is that the brand
We got
from?
the plans
Is that the brand from Belgium or
from
something?
UK.
Okay.
No, well, we were in Belgium on a little tour this summer, but it's Anthony Mackie and friends from the UK.
That's cool. Is that Anthony Mackie, the guy doing Noodle Brains? Is he still skating?
Yes?
That's
Yeah, he's
sick.
an OG.
That's sick. Do you know him from the Solomon times, or you just met him recently?
I don't remember Solomon, but I definitely I saw his name everywhere in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
He loved me.
Because he used to skate for Solomon too. I remember that.
Okay. Didn't know that.
So, Richie, you back in Canada. What are you doing in Canada?
I'm visiting my family and getting some rest. And I don't even know if it's rest, but just taking a break from travel for a minute.
Why do you say you don't even know it's a rest, or if it's rest or not? It's...
Well, because I don't know, that just slipped out of it. It's not really like what it is. I'm just here to visit family, but it is a rest at the same time. I call it a rest.
So, but you're leaving soon, right? I know that. I was speaking with Carson
Yeah, that's
the other
true.
day.
What to do. I'm going to Vancouver in a week and a half, actually. And then, yeah, you're speaking to Karsten, and I'm going to the kayak adventure early November.
Wait, I think I'm listening.
No.
I think you're not loud enough. I don't know if.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? I'm
Yes.
speaking into my headphone microphone.
Yeah, it's better now. It's better now. Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to Vancouver in a week and a half, and then I'm going to Taiwan a few weeks after that, early November.
That's cool. Have you skated in Taiwan?
No, I've only been through the airport. I've never been to Taiwan properly.
That's cool. Because Carsten told me, like, is the whole crew getting together again? The whole.
I think so. Maybe not everyone, but pretty much. It seems like most of us are already booked, so yeah, I think so.
What was the best part of the whole Greek one last year? Was there anything?
Nick and the locals, the house, the scene, like the local scene, is incredible. to love and a huge mansion. And I don't know, it's great. The people were the best part.
I really like the concept of the whole thing. I just think it's just, I don't know, like every other video, you know it. Every other video is just the same. It's just like people skating, the music behind is like a bunch of music video clips with skating as a theme, you know. And somehow the Cayenne project is cool. Like there's this kid that goes to my shop a lot. I think you met him in Thailand. His name is Corey. He's from the UK, but he moved to South Africa. And he was telling me, like, when I saw the first Cayenne project, he was telling me that the cool thing about that video is that you can actually see the personalities, like, of the pro skaters. Because other than that, all the other videos are just, like I said, just people skating. So that has more of the Oaks 2 feeling, you know, like that makes you wanna.
Thank you. I don't know. It's a team effort, so it's a big group of guys. But I guess also I don't know if every video is boring skating.
Yeah, I'm not
music.
saying it's
I know
boring,
what you're saying, but there's a lot of variety out there. But I hear what you're saying and appreciate it. Yeah. It's a good time, you know. It's like good crew, so
there's sometimes that I think, I don't know if you're talking always at the same distance to the microphone. I'm sorry, Richie. Sometimes I listen.
Oh no.
Sometimes it feels like I can't listen to you.
I'm sorry. I have the microphone right in front of my face.
I'm sorry, maybe I don't know what's wrong. It's like sometimes it feels like I can't really hear you.
Okay.
I don't know.
You can hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. It's almost in my mouth.
Oh, good.
Let's try this.
What skates you gonna be skating in the Cayenne project?
Oh, good question. Actually, I have a huge order of skates coming tomorrow, so it depends what comes in the mail. I think I'm getting some samples. I have another skate coming in the future, and those samples will be here. And I guess it'll be Aeons, most likely, 60s or 72s.
Okay.
Aeons. So maybe my own, unless I need to hide them still. Maybe my old 72s or some 60s. I'll take both.
That's cool. I really like that. I don't know if yours were the first skate, like complete skate or pro skate to come out with 72s, but
they were.
Yeah.
76s the first ones, the brown ones.
It was actually like a really, really good idea. So the first one came with 76s.
That's right. Yeah, the brown ones came with 76s.
That's sick.
And thank you. I'm glad that you appreciate it. At the time, especially, it felt like the scene had their heads in the sand and were either not into it or completely against it. So it's nice to continue that.
The thing is, I don't know where did I read? I don't know if it was in any website. Someone made like a skate review of your skate, and someone said something that I really think it made total sense, which was, if a kid buys a pair of skates, if that's his first skate, if he's gonna have like small wheels, the first experience that they have is just like, it's weird. It's like you can't turn, you know it. Like if you skate every day anti-rocker, it's actually cool for a lot of tricks. It's easier and all that, but the experience for skating, it's not the best. So buying a skate that feels good right out of the box, like the 76, like you said, I thought it was 72. I didn't even knew.
Thank you. I remember the first time I rode anti-rockers, I had like some Bauer hockey skates or whatever, and I was skating around.
I can't really hear you. I'm sorry. Sometimes
I wonder if it's my cable from my headphones.
I don't know, because sometimes it goes really, really low, and I'm just scared that we're doing all these and then we don't have good enough sound. I'm sorry, man.
That's okay. You want to take a break and review and see, and then we'll start again? Or?
What should we do? No, I think it's like, I'm just scared, like probably like even the place where you are is a little bit noisy, and sometimes I hear some chairs and stuff, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can leave here.
What should we do?
I just came in for lunch. Maybe I'll go somewhere quieter and let's try again, start over or something.
Yeah, we don't need to start over. We can just keep going, but at least you tell me when you're in the place that you feel like it's a little bit less noisy, and then we can keep doing. Just because I don't think it's gonna be. You can't really hear what you're saying right now.
Okay. Should we? You want me to call you back or something?
Yeah, just call me back like whenever you're done.
Okay.
Cheers, man. Okay, so let's So the sound wasn't really the best. Let's see what happens now. Yo, where were we? I don't even know, huh?
Okay. I don't know either. What are we talking about?
I don't know. If you want, we can start from the beginning. It's all good. So let's do something. Yesterday, so when we were for everyone listening to this, when we were trying to organize to make this phone call, I asked you if you were coming to Winter Clash. You told me that you still don't know.
Oh yeah.
You told me that you still don't know. Do you want to talk about it?
I guess, yeah. What did I tell you? I said,
okay, I'll make the introduction then. This podcast is sponsored by Anchor. If you didn't know what Anchor is the platform that I use to upload my podcasts. Basically, I just upload my podcasts here, and then they make the distribution for Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and so on. It is free, and they still allow me to monetize this podcast even without having a minimum amount of listeners, which is quite cool. They make the connections with the sponsors, with them being one of the sponsors. It's a way to make a little bit of extra cash. I can upload them from my phone, from my computer, even without having this fancy gear that I'm actually using right now. So Anchor is quite cool because it's a one place for you to do everything related to podcasts. So if you want to search or if you want to get into Anchor, make sure to go on anchor.fm, or you can use the free Anchor app. So I was just saying that I asked you yesterday if you're coming to the Winter Clash, and you're saying like you don't know if you want to come because you kind of feel like you're gonna go and spend money, and that's it. You wanna elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, okay. I can't afford to go basically, and I go almost every year anyways. And then, I mean, of course, it's a great time, and I get to catch up with everyone. But I don't know. It's like I just feel pressured, and people are kind of weird sometimes to me, and I don't know. It's just like it's cold. I guess I said all that stuff. So maybe like last year I said the same, I was like, no, I can't come. I can't afford it. I can't come. It's too far away, etc. I wanted to go so bad because of Cayenne and the game, and of course just Winter Clash, see everyone. And so it all worked out. I got my ticket covered, and I still end up losing. It's just like I don't seem to be able to win on this one. So I got all the way there. Everything's cool, and then. Actually, it's kind of a funny story. Like I was supposed to be in the blading camp, with Josh, Quinny, and Trey at the Winter Clash. It was like a great idea. So I was like, okay, there's three strikes. I'm coming. Blading camp, Cayenne, the game, plus Winter Clash, and Jeremy Gessler and I had a dude, where's my car kind of moment the night before. So I was in Brussels with Jeremy for what was it? I don't know. The Planet Park World Championships, which that's another story, but I love the idea. I mean, I love the guys there at the park, and I would go anyway, but I love that they call it the World Championships and just don't take it too seriously, And so there we were. We had a great time, and then, we had a great party as well. And when we woke up in the morning to rush to Eindhoven Jeremy didn't need to be there, but I did for the camp. The car was gone. And, and at first I'm laughing and thinking, whatever. We go looking around for it, and it was it was so bizarre because it wasn't where we parked it, then we didn't know, is that where we did park it, you know? So we ended up searching all over town for hours, walking to the skate park and back and everywhere. And then it turns out it was towed. So I guess Jeremy parked somewhere that he shouldn't have when we got home. And, you know, like we for a while we thought, like, did we lose our minds, or was it really, was the party really that crazy that we don't know where the car is? And so it ended up taking all day. It was like they tried to send Jeremy home back to where is he from? Noodle on the coast. They wanted him to go home because he didn't have. It was just total crap. He didn't have his ID had like a peel or a wrinkle in it, or you know, something ridiculous. And the cops are like, "No, we're not going to accept that. You can't get your car. You need to go home." And he's like, "Well, yeah, but how do I get home? You got my car." And they're like, "Oh, I guess you're going to take a train and you're going to come back with your passport or something." So he went to another police station to try again, you know, and then they ended up giving him the ticket to go get the car. By the time we got to Winter Clash, it was, I don't even know, it was like dark already or something. It took a whole day to get there. So then for me, that's like, I lose the blading camp, whatever, the income or something, and I lose, like, I could make some, whatever, marketing projects, or like basically all of the ways for me to fund this trip were just kind of snatched away, like always. And it was just kind of like a sign to me that this is kind of how it always goes. Like, no matter what I sort of try to do or how I try to make it work, it like isn't meant to work for me for some reason. So there it was. So that's kind of my thought this year, is like, I'm sure I could get it mostly covered and show up, but who knows, you know, what kind of wall is going to come up into my face in the middle of it. So that's one side, and then the other side is just, you know, in the end, I come all the way there. I see some friends, but not even long enough to like catch up or anything. It's usually interrupted by everyone else who wants to come say hi. And then I go home, and it's like, I don't perform well in the event. I don't really get to hang out with my friends. I freeze, you know, and I lose money. And then people bitch that I didn't meet their expectations. And it's like, okay, well, maybe next time you won't have to worry about me meeting your expectations, because I'm going to stay home and take care of myself. So I think that's the background.
So there's two things. I have two things to say about that. The first thing is, like, it's in the end you end up having a story to tell your children one day.
Oh yeah,
that's one thing. And then the second thing is, I don't want to swear on this thing, because then I can't monetize my videos because I say bad words. But you know what? Fuck it.
No way, is that right?
I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I don't give a shit. What I'm trying to say is, like, you know what? Fuck it. The truth is, man, it's the worst feeling. I've never had, like, I was never ever in the same position where you are, or where you are. Like, people look at you as one of the best guys ever to put a pair of inline skates, one thing or not. And then people, like, I don't know, like, it is the truth. And then there's always someone trying to compete with you every single time. And then if you don't do that trick that you did in that video, they look at you like weird. But at the same time, you've been dealing with that for so long. I'm not saying that it shouldn't affect you, because it affects all of us. It's just like a mental thing. In the end, like, people are judging you, and you're just doing what you love to do. But at the same time, you know what, man, you're doing this, and that's what I keep saying to everyone. You're doing this because you love it, and that's the reason why you started. And even if sometimes there's sponsors and money, and that's the way you live and all that, the most important thing is that you only got that where you are right now because you are amazingly good. And whatever everyone says, or whenever anyone judges you, all I want to tell to everyone else, that to everyone that ever judged you, is fuck you. Because no one can judge you, seriously, no one can judge you for, like, putting so much of your time and so much passion into it. And the truth is, you were for someone listening to this, it's like, for me, it's one of my proudest moments in working with Powerslide was when I said this more than once, which is when I started working with Undercover. I remember getting an email from Michael from BMAG sent me an email saying like, man, if you're gonna do a team, you need Richie Eisler on the team. And I was like, oh yeah, how didn't
Michael.
I was like, how didn't I remember about that? I was like, how didn't I remind about that? And I sent you an email like I was so stoked when you said yes. And then a few months later, you were on USD, and even a few months later, you were having a pro model on USD. So if there's one thing that I'm proud is that from making that connection with Powerslide, which you're still connected somehow. So I'm really, really happy that happened.
And thank you for that. It changed my life as well. I appreciate it a lot, and I appreciate BMAC. They always had my back. Nobody else did, and I love the BMAC and for you, our side as well. We have our ups and downs, but they've been helping me for 12 years now. Was that?
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, probably 2005. So the thing is,
something like that.
You're saying thank you, BMAG, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure BMAG also says thank you, Richie, because I remember your first videos were on BMAG, and I remember those videos being amazingly good. And BMAG was the portal that everyone used back then to watch stuff. I guess you're in a super noisy place again, huh?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm gonna move. Please. I came to the school to have some time to work on my laptop and meet my friend when he's done class, and it's just like I can't escape the crowd. Now, some classes just let out like a couple hundred.
They're coming for the autographs, man.
No, man. Yeah, right. Okay, here we go. I'm walking through. I don't know. People are looking at me. I look pretty ridiculous right now, carrying all my crap. Like, get out of here. So what's this, 2005 or whatever?
Yeah, I remember that was that little rail on the left side. You remember that? I think that's in Regina, right? Is that where you live? Like that little rail on the left side.
Like a long flat one?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like you did all sorts of stuff that people don't do it still on that rail.
Okay. I mean, I think that's the one that is here. It's gone now, but it's funny because basically I bet 95% of the spots that you saw me on in those days, they're not in Regina. There's nothing here. And we would go on road trips to, we would drive 2 or 3 hours to one rail. I mean, I guess everyone does that. Yeah, the spots are all over Canada, not really in Regina. But yeah, that one was here. I think if it's the one I think you're talking about, low, left side, flat.
Yeah, like long, grass on the side, something like that.
Grass on the side, yeah. That's not far from my place, so we used to go there all the time. And ironically, when we first found it, it was too high. We thought, like, no, we can't jump to that. And then, like, a year later, it became the best rail ever. Yeah, that's a good one. But it's gone now.
And then, since then, you've been connected to Powerslide. Like you said, man, I don't want to start a fight. You said that you had your ups and downs. Are we in a up or in a down?
Sure.
In a up or in a down right now?
Yeah, right now. I was pretty stressed this year, but I think it's okay now.
Okay.
I don't know. It's probably my own. Like I've been on the road basically for I don't even know 6 years or something. So I'm not the easiest to keep in touch with, and I'm not really. I don't want to be like a social media star or whatever. That's essentially what the business is now. But that's been a complication. Yeah, but I'm trying to meet in the middle, and they're trying to meet in the middle. So whatever. We always work it out. We're all in. They got my back, and I got their back.
That's cool. I guess that's the thing is, I totally understand for a skater that just starts skating like just start getting into the industry like a few years ago, like 2, 3, 4 years ago. All he knows is social media, but you come from a time completely different. You come from the time that there wasn't even MySpace back then. So you come from the time that you basically, like Josh said, you'd need to be good, and you would need to have a friend with a camera, or you'd need to have a camera and film yourself.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then you'd need to have the connections.
Alone,
yeah.
When I'm traveling alone, who's that guy with the camera? So that's an issue. And yeah, like you say, when I don't know, I'm just good at skating, and I'm happy to skate if I can or whatever. But if I need to be a social media manager, I'd just rather go teach again, back to work. So. And maybe it's stupid because how hard is it really to post on the internet every day? It should be fine, but I don't know, I don't feel good about it. I don't like it.
Yeah, people are different, man. People are different. But the truth is, I know, and like the last time I saw you, I saw you at the Winter Clash, but before that I saw you in Barcelona. And when I saw you in Barcelona, you already had a lot of footage that you were filming for something to put out. Because I know that you've done that flip thing. You know what I'm saying, man. I know that you put out that flip thing, and you told me that you did that like quick. Not quick, but like you learned all that stuff just for that video. But before that, yeah, you can talk whatever you want about the.
I was okay. I was gonna say I was doing those Sweet 16s, and all the little grinds, the 360 grinds. That was just a far out idea at one point. I learned about 3 or 4 of the 360s, all of them. Maybe I should just try to record them all.
It's sorry, Richie, you're not loud enough. I'm sorry, man.
Okay, I don't know what to do, man. Can you hear me? Maybe I mumble. A lot of people tell me I mumble. Not loud enough. You can hear me now?
Yeah, kind of. It's not like when I first called you, it was like really clear. I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. My Wi-Fi looks strong. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's perfect. I guess it's just sometimes, I don't know if it's your tone that starts going lower or if it's just you get far from the mic. Sorry, man.
Yeah, well, anyway, whatever. I got into trying to, learn new tricks with grinds, and then I always thought, what about the flips? So I was happy to do 16. But that was pretty far out when I first thought of it, and in the end, it might sound ridiculous, but it might be one of the easiest things I've ever made in skating. Doing all those flips. Everyone out there doing flips and like 2 pounds punch.
Yeah, especially if you have like body control, like you seem to have, shouldn't be that hard to make a few flips, and then you go to, not that I can do them, but if you go to like some.
It's facilities. It's the facilities. If you can backflip into a foam pit 5 times in a row, then why can't you do it with the wood underneath you? You just need to get out your fear.
Yeah, just need to go over that mental block, right?
Yeah, and you can't, there's not really, well, maybe there are now woodward and stuff, there's like foam stairs and whatnot, but I was going to say, like, you can't really have a foam pit like, learning a grind, but I guess you can nowadays. But for flips, yeah, like, I mean, if you can, the ramp is trying to flip you, the natural movement on the ramp is to flip, back flip especially, so that's the scariest one. I hate it, I'm scared of it on trampolines and everything, but yeah, honestly.
Dude, but have you seen that guy from the UK that Nick posted yesterday?
Jay Cuthbertson. Yeah.
Dude, that fakey front flip.
He's killing it.
And have you seen Nick's clip on Instagram today?
Today I did, yeah.
The flare on flat on that.
And then backflip 180 kind of. Yeah.
He's going scooter style, huh?
I dig it. I think, like I said, there's a million different things to do on wheeled shoes, and the more the better.
No, it's sick, huh? I'm not complaining about it. It's just like sick. I love every type of skating, and it's a different style of skating, and he seems to have lots of fun, and he pushes it, and somehow he shows skating to a different type of people. So it's sick.
When I was working on the flips, and the guys in the UK had some of the best parks for learning this stuff. So I went there twice to work on this. And while I was there talking with Jake, and Joby and then at LOCO, they said, I was saying I had done a flip to grind. I wanted more, and I wanted to do a grind to flip. So I was talking about that, and they're like, oh, you're going to see J cuts with them. So I went and watched and juiced. I tried to work on it at unit with Pliny. We put mattresses on the ground, and I was flipping up around to the ground and just couldn't really get it done. So, whatever, I let it be for now. Maybe there'll be a flip part 2 or something.
You got to go for part 2 then.
That's really cool. I would like to. There's at least like a dozen sort of undone flips on my list where I felt like I had them and got out of time, converted, etc.
I was telling like last year, I was trying to convince Julien Coudeau to do, what was it? I think it was like what was it? It was a fakey backflip on I think it was a fakey backflip on a quarter pipe, something like that. Yeah, fakey backflip on a quarter pipe. You go up.
Wow, yeah.
But then someone landed it in France. That was the guy that did it, kind of like a transfer from a quarter pipe to a flat bank on the side. And that's just such a sketchy thing. Like, to just think of it. Like, I'm sure Julien could do it, but it's just that like, I don't know. It's weird for me. But the reason why I started asking you about these. The reason why I started asking you about these was, I know, like the last time I saw you in Barcelona, it was like 2 years ago, and you told me that you already had like lots of clips on the side. And since you got that video from, like that back in Canada video, I haven't really seen that much stuff from you. I don't know, like I'm gonna ask you something which I don't know if it makes sense or not, but do you feel like any pressure, because after that video people will expect something the same level of skating, which I think I'm sure that you are better at the moment. I know you are. It's like
I feel better than ever.
Yeah, I know that, man. It's just like you keep skating, so you can only get better.
Yeah.
So.
I don't. Well, yeah, I guess I feel pressure from the people, but I feel more pressure from myself. And I actually let go of that this year, and I'm feeling a lot better for it. I do have footage stacked up for a long time. I have endless. I'm working on something, and I was in a rush at times. It's changed directions many times, but it's coming to an end here soon. It's coming to completion, but yeah, I mostly feel my own pressure of like whatever. Just I have all this stuff sort of hanging over my head, and it's not done. And I mean, I can't really live up to the expectations of getting stuff done because I've been just constantly traveling, and I'm on someone's couch or floor or whatever, or at their event. And if I want to take 2 days to work on my computer, all my friends are around or whoever I'm staying with, or the event, or like I've had no private time essentially for years. My most private time is when I'm on an airplane. So there's times when I've had the best adventures, the times with friends, and then it's time to leave and I gotta go. And even though it's such a great trip, I sometimes just feel the craziest relief when someone drops me off at the airport and I know I'm going to be alone for like 20 hours or something.
Yeah,
I used to work on the plane, but now I can't even work on the plane because there's always someone sitting next to me staring, and then they end up interrupting because they see a backflip or whatever they see on my computer screen, and then I have to be up with them for hours.
So they interrupt you after seeing the backflip.
Yeah, so I don't do this anymore. So now I get on the plane, I wear a hoodie and some sunglasses and headphones, and I zombie out before we even take off. I probably look pretty suspicious on the plane.
Okay, I got that then. It's cool. It's cool that you edit your own stuff. I remember when I saw you when I was with you in Portugal. You had lots of ideas about like the way you like your clips to be filmed, and I always got that in my mind. Like the way you told me, like you always like to film the clips in a way that you don't show the end of the clip, so people get like
yeah, surprise ending.
Yes, and that's something that you told me that completely makes sense, and I never thought of it. And then when I see your stuff, that happens a lot. Like There was a clip that you did, like the, you know, the one like that, soul to soul to soul to soul, like on these little reels. There was on social media somewhere, and then a 360 out, but you're not expecting, because you never know when you never know when the reel is going to end, and that's just a perfect example of it. You're going like soul, 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 and then whoever is watching is just thinking like, when is he gonna end that shit? And then you still end with a 360 out or something.
And
like
then
that.
you gotta have the if the best is a surprise ending after a surprise ending, that's, you know, or 3 or 4. Don't get that in the match. But with I'm going to credit that to Dominic Sigona. When he stayed at the Powerhouse, we had some long chats or whatever, and at one point we sort of, wherever it came from, I'm credited to him. We were speaking about how, like, you know, you can, what's this media for? Is it to prove that you can do this foot position, you know, in slide, like, or this many rotations, or is it entertainment or whatever? So to me, it's this is my job or whatever. I'm supposed to market skating. It's entertainment. I don't need to prove anything about what I can do or someone else who I'm filming can do. I want to make you entertained. So follow the same rules as a good story or a good book or a good movie. You know, I think that's where it came from. And like whenever I'm surprised, you know, I don't know, more entertained. And if I know what's coming, or if someone's really impressively talented, it doesn't really entertain as much as surprise.
You said something now that made total sense, and I spoke with about this to someone like a few months ago, which I remember. I don't know if you still have it on your Instagram or something. You had something saying like toy salesman, something like that, as a description of what you do. And that's exactly what most of the pro skaters are, even if they don't want to admit that. But it's like, it's amazing that you use it, because it is the truth. Like for a lot of people that don't know, when a brand gives you the products, and when a brand pays you for a video or something like that, that's what they expect you to do. They expect you to promote the product, and then they can sell more. And that's the only reason why there are pro skaters, pro skateboarders, pro bicycle riders. It doesn't matter. It's marketing.
Yep.
So
it took me a while to figure that out too, but bottom line, that's all it is. And sometimes the best toy player is the best salesman, but that's not all there is to it.
It is the truth. You need to be on that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's why guys like I've said it before to Josh the other day. It's just like guys like Montre, their attitude with kids. It's just, if you think of it as the salesman, it's the guy that is cool with everyone, and everyone wants to buy from that guy because he's the cool guy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's easy.
Yep.
It's an easygoing guy. Like he's obviously super talented, and we all know it. But then other than that, he's friendly, and people want to be, most of the time, they want to be next to that guy. They want to be part of his group, part of that crew, part of whatever. So he's
exactly.
I really think he's a really good salesman because of that too.
Yeah, I agree. And I get frustrated because people like mock him or joke about whatever, you know, he drinks beer or whatever. Like, I mean, like they just in general, everybody seems to be so self-conscious and insecure that everybody needs skating and every skater and everything about it to match their perfect ideal. And to me, it's like, let it go. Like, skating is skating, and that's it. Like, Montre, if he wants to drink a beer, that's it. Like, I don't know. Of course, I might not be a salesman to a child, but at the same time, like, he's a guy that you know from YouTube or something. Like, maybe relax on what kind of standards you're holding to this guy. Like, he doesn't need to save blading for the world. He can just be good and magnetic and infectious and let it be. But that's just something that's like a peeve when I was saying I get frustrated. Like everyone wants to save skating or something. It doesn't need saving. It's just what it is, and enjoy it. Let it save it. Save it for yourself. Second your opinion.
Yeah, I guess that I get that. I understand what you're saying. That's kind of like what Josh was saying too. It's just like when people start trying to save something, they're also saying that something need to be saved, and I get that. But at the same time, I also think that some people need to be more conscious about what they say. And I'm not like, because you know, some people, I know that when people just say shit for saying shit, then that's like, if you have your own opinion, I totally get it, and I respect that. But when people's opinions are just because they want to be on the other side of everyone else, then I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but isn't that just all skaters? Like this counterculture. Like,
fuck, I hate it. I'm sorry.
Everyone was so against. Like, to me, it's funny because when I started, everyone was like, "Oh, the mainstream sucks. We hate everything mainstream. Solomon's the worst because they're the big company and all this. Like, we're all just so indie." And now it's like everyone's complaining, like, "Can you let us back into the mainstream? Like, we don't want to be indie anymore."
Man, I don't even know what to say about that the whole Solomon thing. I get, like, the Solomon skates are amazing, but they left. That's it. They left.
Well, but and then when they were here, people were hating on them because they were too big, and now like we're so small. I don't know. It just feels like all these people that were just so punk rock or whatever against everything mainstream. I don't know how to word this, but that's the easiest way. And now, like, the big debate is like, you can't drink beer because we gotta be accessible to the mainstream, and like, it's just like,
dude, it's a trend. You look at skateboarding, it's trendy to be sober now. It just, I get, like, if you're older and if you want to try to be able to do some things for longer, you can. There's some things that you can do to make you do it for longer. I know that I remember seeing something from you that you started paying way more attention to what you eat, and you were doing like something like you did like this fasting or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another way of doing things. But you know what? I respect that. I don't respect when people do whatever they do just to be against the rest of the society or against the rest of the world. Like, I might like something, but I'm gonna say I don't like it just to be different. But being different sometimes is not that. Being different sometimes is just being yourself. And I guess that's when I respect the difference the most, you know? Like Dominic Sagona, he was obviously different, but he was different because he was just so much more talented and so much more creative and so much more artistic in his skating, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
what I'm saying is it's not a trend. I don't think anything about health is not a trend. It's about access to information. And in the last generation, we've had this like explosion of access to information, and to me that's where if someone's getting smarter about their health, it's because they know more. Their whole world is smarter than we were 20 years ago. The internet and whatever it is, you can look anything up that you want to know. And 20 years ago, if I wanted to know about nutrition, good luck. I got to go to the library for a week, or I got to ask someone who's going to tell me what they heard from someone else. Now I can go and read what they think and what the opposite thinks and what everybody thinks, and I can make my own opinion. I think that's actually what's happening. Just from my perspective, I don't think any of it is a trend. And maybe to some it is, like to younger people, maybe they're copying someone older who's doing it, and that's great, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I guess you're right then.
But yeah, for me, it started when I moved out from home to Sydney, and just now it's on me. Like, I'm responsible for myself, and I started reading about things that I thought were important that I wasn't taught in school. So nutrition was pretty much one of the first ones. You know, like basically the most important thing for you to know to operate the vehicle that you're in, your body, and whoever tells you about it, nobody. So that was where I started. I think that's happening to a lot of people. Just from my view, I think that's what it is. It's like if people are quitting alcohol and drugs and eating better, it's because they're smarter than they were before.
Okay. Tell me something. You said something about Sydney. What happened in Australia?
I don't know. I just had a good life and got kicked out. Like, I used to watch the border.
Why did you got kicked out?
Like, I wasn't on the right visa, and I kind of knew that. I mean, I was in the process of a sponsorship with my job, and it hadn't gone through yet. I went home to visit family, and when I came back, they fine-tooth examined my case, and they said, "Oh, you're like cheating the visa system. You're out." So that was it. I mean, I guess what can you do?
Are you able to get
That's
back
long
there
over.
if you want?
Yeah, for sure I could now. And actually, years ago, I talked to my boss from the time, and they had expanded a lot, and they said, yeah, whenever you want to come back, we'll sponsor you and everything. So I took that as like, okay, another parachute sort of to live how I want, and I can always, settle back into this nice gig that I had before. So things had really sort of started happening for me to live more comfortably skating, and I was traveling a lot, sort of always my dream. So I just went with that, and now a lot of years have passed, and now I don't really have the. At that time, I had more of a desire to go back, and now I don't really know, and I've almost stopped trying to make plans for the future because they never go the way that I planned. So now, for years now, I've just been sort of following the flow and sort of letting go, letting the path unfold in front of me, and I'll go that way. And it's been great. Yeah, I don't know what will happen next.
What did you used to do for work?
I was teaching business there. Yeah.
Sorry?
Actually, I was teaching business there at the end and even in the middle, quite quickly once I was there.
Okay. So, did you study to be a teacher or something like that, or what did you study to?
I did a few things. I did a bachelor degree in like media production, film and video, and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then while in school, I sort of realized that maybe teaching film would be the most perfect job for me. So I started thinking that way, and that means higher education and all that. So when choosing what sort of path to take to get a master's or whatever to keep progressing in my education, I thought, I don't know if a master's of film is really my best move, so I did a master's of business. It's kind of the exact opposite of the arts or whatever, fine arts, and it's far more valuable in the workplace. So I did that, got a whole new perspective. And then when I went to Sydney to teach there, you needed another, like a diploma in teaching, basically. So I did that, and then while applying for film teacher jobs, there's like 100 business teacher jobs whenever you have a teacher job. So I applied for those as well and got one of those right away. So I started doing that.
That's cool. I never knew that you studied film, but that's cool. That makes sense because I didn't knew that's one of the things that I was going to ask you is like, where did you learn how to edit videos and stuff like that? Because your stuff is like not just the filming, but like everything else. Like the way you put it all together and everything is like it's special. It's different from the rest of the skating industry, if you can call it. So
I think that did not come from school. Well, I mean, maybe that's not right to say, but I learned everything at home after school, like all the software, Final Cut and Adobe and whatever. At school we used pretty outdated technology, actually. We did a lot of projects on film, which was great, but then a lot on like VHS and old splicers and like the oldest of computer technology. Like I would say I went to school for that kind of stuff sort of at the wrong time, maybe, like just before the sort of like free the technology that everyone can use these days, whatever you call that, like semi-pro or whatever. Just before that kind of exploded, I was in school using dinosaur stuff. So. But you got the basics. And, I think more just, the theory. Like, I learned a lot about the ideas of it, but maybe not the hands-on. So I taught myself the hands-on.
But like those things, like you said, changed a lot. But the truth is, you got the basics, and with whatever you learned, I'm not saying you learned from school, like you said, like a lot of things. Most of the times, the more you play with these editing programs and the cameras and stuff, that's when you learn the most. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's it. Like I think I learned the stuff that can't be measured at school, and I learned the stuff that's obvious and visible away from school. So
do you own a camera?
Not anymore. I had a few. I had some good ones and some bad ones, but I've kind of sold everything to survive. I've sort of run out of. I had a bit of savings for a while that kept me floating, and I have this sort of parachute I can sort of eject and get a good job anytime. So I've been sort of carefree, following my dreams for a while, but it's it's drying out, so I've had to desperate measures. So right now I've been just shooting with my phone or borrowing friends' cameras or whatever. I'm looking to buy one really soon.
Okay. Are you going fancy or what?
No, I'll probably go as low, as basic as I can, finish this project that I've been working on, and then upgrade after that, sell everything. And for now, yeah, I'll be on like budget travelers here.
Okay. Are you
which so the phone has been great for.
Are you planning on going somewhere else after the Taiwan trip? You staying in Asia again, or?
Yeah, I'm going to Japan to finish filming Takeshi. I've been working on a Takeshi Street section.
What? You're filming one or what?
We didn't finish it. Yeah, I'm filming a Takeshi Street section.
That's so sick.
He's been ripping, man.
I know.
He's one of the most inspiring guys in skating and whatever. I went there, I got to live their the G Skates thing, and blew my mind. Takeshi was very busy, so I was there quite a while, and we didn't get it done. So I'm going to go back and finish it. And then essentially, I guess I'll go into permit mode and edit until my stuff is done. But who knows? I've said this before at other times, getting away and enjoying it.
Do you know if Eito is also skating like a lot as often as Takeshi, or a little bit less?
They both skate every day. They teach kids every single day.
That's amazing.
I don't know,
every time I see Takeshi, it's just like better. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's if they are ripping. I don't know, like, that they're pushing every day. They're mostly teaching kids. When they skate, I look at them. They skate, they're both like.
Wait, I didn't hear you now. Sorry.
Oh, I said they skate every day. I don't know that they're always like pushing, eating, falling on a burden every day. But when they do go for it, I mean, even if they're just chilling, they're very, very impressive.
Yeah. I just saw this clip of Takeshi the other day, like doing a 360 soul transfer. I don't know if you saw that. Like,
I saw that on the big wall. Yeah.
that's just like I wasn't expecting that. Like he used to be known for the double flat spins, and I know that he's really good. He can skate rails, he can skate everything, but I wasn't expecting a 360 soul transfer on something like that. So. It's just an example.
Yeah, no, I guess you have to expect that.
Yeah. Wait, Richie, I guess you're like in a really noisy place again, huh?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. Just like, there's like just a...
I'm sorry. I'm in this big hall and people walking around again. I don't know where to go now. I'm surrounded by hall.
That's a problem that you've been like. What have you been doing while traveling? Have you been like, you said that over the last 6 years you've been traveling almost non-stop. Have you been staying on skaters' places, or have you been renting places to stay? What have you?
Occasionally, I have rented places. At different times of this journey, I've been.
Yep.
Up and down. So, but no, normally.
Wait, I can't hear you, huh? Richie? I guess I lost you, huh?
Yeah, hello?
Yep, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can.
Yeah, I can hear you. I might just have a... Anyway, I've been staying everywhere, mostly with friends. I love Dubai, I stay there all the time. Occasionally rented the place, but nothing. Like occasional Airbnbs, like maybe at the end of a good summer with Josh and Fred, we'll rent an Airbnb for a month and sort of relax or whatever. But mostly I'm just visiting friends.
Yeah, it makes it easier, but at the same time, like you said, then you don't have that time for yourself, because it's kind of, I know, like I've never lived for that long, but I've stayed obviously with friends for like weeks and stuff, and it's just after a while, that's what I think, that's where my props go out to you. I don't know like how you do it, because it must be hard.
It's just been my dream my whole life. I've always wanted to travel. I wanted to find a job where I could be free to move around. And I have always traveled anyway, but I wanted to find a way to like release myself from working at the same place every day. So it's been a perfect storm, and even though it's not ideal, it's like I can't really pass it up, so I just keep going. And
so what?
Year,
Tell me,
actually, for years and years.
what
Okay,
would you change?
Next year.
You said it's not ideal. What would you do different?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would change anything. Cause is anything ideal? Like it's what? It's just how it is. It's what I always wanted. I mean, if I change something for the better, there'll be some other negative that comes with it.
Yeah,
It's
of course.
perfect. It's just not. It's not all perfect like people are assuming. It's like you get what you pay for. So I paid a lot. To get a lot. Put it that way.
What? And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. It's just like somehow, like, I don't know if it's the connection, because in Africa the connection is not the best too. So sometimes Africa with that internet connection too, it's nothing to do with you now.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know what's wrong with this. Richie.
What if we? I don't know. Yeah.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We keep going.
Okay. Let's keep trying. Okay. I'm outside now, so I don't think it can get loud.
Nah, it's all good, man. I remember like a few months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago, when we spoke about doing this for the first time. It was after Yes, it was after the Tom Iser one, and you said there was something.
Yeah, that was what I was saying earlier.
Yeah,
it was this mantra thing, and I didn't even hear it all. And actually, Tom's like one of the biggest heroes in skating, so whatever. But so I was curious about like, I want to hear what Tom's saying, and I guess I was listening for a bit, and you were just kind of like over talking, and then so I skipped ahead. Then you guys were, or he or something. Whatever, Montre was being sort of mocked a little. I skipped ahead. There was something else, and I was just like, So I just hung it up. I'm not really a podcast guy to begin with, so I originally wanted to come on to tell basically everyone to just shut up. That was I felt really bad for it because I wrote you like, "Hey man, I want to come on, like tell you to shut up," but then you're like, I can't talk a lot. I just had a baby," and I was like, that's classic for me, like. Just make an ass of myself by accident. It happens. So that was my thing. I listened recently because when I was with Jonas filming in Denmark, we would be driving around listening to podcasts. So now I've heard more. I heard you talk about people telling you to shut up and stuff. I've listened fully through some and I get it now. But I've always been, like I said earlier, just people are talking. Mostly like, not in your case, but a lot of cases they have no idea. Like they're talking about things that they're not a part of or not inside of, like experts. And I think that just spreads, and these people listen and they don't know they don't know any different. So I was at that point, I was like, man, this was frustrated about all that as it was. And then I heard that and I was like, they're still like bitching about Montre and all this. Like I gotta. I don't really even like to be in this kind of thing, like sharing my opinions or whatever. But I thought, okay, I'm gonna stand up for my friends again and be like, everybody needs to chill out. So that was, I
get what you're saying.
I loosened up, and then now it's whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that we spoke with Josh too the other day. I think you heard that one with Josh, and that's one of the things. Like,
yeah, I listened to the Josh one. Yeah,
yeah, it's just basically. First thing about podcasts, I really believe that this is, I don't even know if I can call this a podcast, as I mainly do it on YouTube. But the thing is, podcasts makes it a lot easier for people. Not on YouTube, but if you can, something that you can listen. A lot of time people don't have the time to sit in front of a computer, TV, whatever, to watch a video. But if you just put your own headphones, like you said, like if you're driving a car, you can listen to these things. It doesn't need to be skate related. Some people like it, some people don't. But now talking about like
the say Billy's one of my favorite guys. So if someone's talking to Billy for an hour, I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah, the one with Billy was sick, man. So I really enjoyed it.
I get it.
And And the thing is, when it comes to Montre, I said it more than once. Like, it does whatever it wants. Of course, I love that guy. Like, skating, there's nothing to be said about it. And when it comes to what he chooses to do for living, or like what he chooses to do as a skater or his image, we can't do anything about it. It's his own thing, and I love that he stayed true to that, and I love that. It's like,
me too. And I don't believe there's anything wrong with anything he does, which is another topic. But like, whatever he's doing, like most of the world is moving past that right now. You just moved past that. It's not correct. South Africa just let it go. These things recently, no? Like, didn't you just legalize something like a week ago?
Sorry, I didn't understand what you said. Sorry.
Like, didn't South Africa just legalize marijuana and other things like a week ago or something?
Like a month or two ago, yes.
A month ago? Okay. Well, yeah. It's a ridiculous thing.
Yeah, but like in Portugal, it's been not legal,
forever, right?
but it's been, I don't know.
Yeah.
For a while. Yeah. It's been decriminalized for a while. So
for example, that like I get it. Some people aren't ready for this or whatever. Some people have their own opinions, but if we're gonna judge Montre about something like that, we need to look at ourselves. And for one, I guess maybe you miss half the science if you're gonna judge that over coffee or pharmaceuticals or alcohol or whatever. So just to me, it's like, leave it alone. Like, someone, I don't know, like how.
Man, if you look at the pharmaceutical industry,
yeah, so if you better be straight edge if you're gonna complain about someone else's vices or habits or whatever you want to call it, or medicine, whatever, going the first stone or whatever they say. Like, that's just my thing. I'm tired of it. It's like, get over it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was my thing. I travel with Montre all the time, and he's, as far as I'm concerned, he's one of the best role models we have. And I feel like there's nothing better than being real, even if someone doesn't agree with it. So.
Yeah, he does his thing, and I respect that, man. But thank you for.
I didn't listen to it all because I skipped around.
It was long. It was like 2.5 hours or something like that.
And I was like, it's all just bitching everywhere. But no, that was also, I was stressed. In the summer, I was on the road in the middle of like being broke and having people complain that I didn't do enough 360 grinds at their contests or whatever. So,
but if there's someone that can do them, that's you. You can like, I never got it. How you can do those things both ways, and like, do you even have a way to like? Do you ever have a side to spin, or you can spin easily?
Yeah, but it's all changed. It doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, I used to for sure. But like, I broke my ankle. I was all righty, everything, and I broke my ankle. So I learned lefties to heal up, while I was healing up. And then spinning, I hurt my right ankle again. It hurt to spin right and land on that side. So I started. I don't know. It's just practice, as far as I'm concerned. It's hours put in, and I'm from somewhere with not much to do, so I spend a lot of hours doing this.
So basically, nowadays you don't have a way to spin regularly.
I do, but it's not that different. Switch 360s are hard for me.
So tell me something. Like you said, like flips are just too easy. Is there any basic trick that you struggle with?
I'm not very good at Savannahs.
You can.
I mean, lots of things, sure, but I don't know. Yes, I mean, Savannahs would be a weak spot. I try to plug these holes, because the more building blocks you put in your box, the more tools or whatever, then spots open up. So if you can do, that's what it's to me. It's just about learning new stuff, and it's like a never-ending game where I keep setting a new level, and the more levels you pass, the more fun the next level is. So I've intentionally like cross-legged things, porn stars or whatever, one-footed tricks that used to be really hard to switch, and I used to like intentionally work hard on, like I would warm up with switch torques or something every day, no matter how many times I fell, until now until eventually they're not so switch anymore. So I don't know. I think I strategically just keep picking away at the weak spots.
Yeah, I
And
guess
Savannah would be one for sure.
So it's kind of like
True topsoils are really hard for me. There's something about them. So
but I've seen you doing like proper good ones. Few at
it
least.
can be done, but it's not easy for me.
Yeah, it's one of like, with me it's been true top porns. Like, I don't know why. I suck at those things. I used to be able to do them in ledges and shit both ways, and I can't anymore. It just doesn't. I'll kill myself and I can't do them, but anyway, it is what it is.
I went the other way. It used to be the trick my friends would get me on in Blade all the time. So Blade games, man. Me and the guys from Regina, Dustin and Devin and Dan, we used to play Blade every day on my driveway little P-rail before we went to session. So I would put most of my trick vocabulary down to just playing Blade with some talented guys for years and years.
Yeah, but that's the best way to learn stuff. I know it. Like that's that guy from Brazil, Zamba, Felipe Zamardino. I was playing a game with him through this YouTube thing, with a week to do the trick. But you know what? That's hard, man. It's not the same, because when you play a game of Blade, just playing on with a week sucks. Because you have a lot more time to learn your shit, and to everyone does their own shit. So it's harder, because if they do stuff that I hate, spinning to tricks, it's not my thing, man. I just hate it. Yeah. So if it
speaking of
sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, you go ahead. I'll cut you off after.
It's all good. So, and he's one of those guys that spins a lot into shit. So I was eating shit the whole time, and I hate that. Anyway, just say it.
Okay, I was gonna say, speaking of tricks, are there any tricks that you can't do? It seems like you've done probably every variation of positions, and ones that people haven't thought of. What about you? I don't think you have many limits either, do you?
Sorry? If I have one?
You don't have much of a limit either as far as tricks go. I've seen you do pretty much everything over at some point or another.
Yeah, I kind of tried. I think it was like you too, because you know what? I used to skate mainly with one foot, and then that was way before. Yeah, I used to do most of Makio backslides.
One strong foot.
Yeah, on my right foot, and then I twisted it so many times that I started learning stuff like Makios, Mizus, and all that stuff with the other foot. And then somehow I lost my Makio foot. I didn't have a foot for Makio, so that made me quite easy to learn most of my shit. Because at a really early time in skating, really early stage in skating, I started doing tricks both ways. But I was obviously never half as good as you. But the truth is, somehow, because you were able to use both feet, will help you a lot for other stuff. So I don't think, like I said, I think my weakest trick would be true top porn. Other than that, it depends on the spot, of course. Okay. I always love to skate steep rails because I'm lazy. I hate jumping. Okay.
I hate steep rails because I don't want to smash into the ground.
Yeah, I know, but nowadays I hate the smashing into the ground. But more than the smashing into the ground, I hate that I need to jump. So if it's a steep rail, I'll go fast. But I hate steep short rails, because if it's short, you hit the ground bad. If you miss it, you die. Right. I'd rather do a long rail. I rather roll down the stairs I don't know, whatever, finding a way to survive than jumping into a high rail. I just can't jump. I think I'm just lazy. I think right now it's on my head,
Fair. And that's fine. Maybe your head is putting it there for a reason.
Yeah, of course. Just creating the limits,
Yeah, I'm not skating rails where I can can myself anymore. I just forget about it. What's the point? And I used to feel that way about drop rails. I would think so what's the point of this drop rail? It's more dangerous. It's the same feeling. What's the point of this? And I mean, I love a good drop rail or whatever it is.
No, I can tell you right away why. It's
just a few years ago when I thought you're saying you can tell me. I thought you were asking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know why the drop rails. It's just a marketing thing, man. It's just like
Yeah.
it's for you to
like,
market yourself as a
prove
crew.
yourself.
Yeah, and I like to for
But
people to
I
show.
don't know, like, but what about people skating? Like, fair enough, but I think there's enough people that just skate. They're not marketing to anyone. Maybe it's just about the adrenaline, you know. Which
Yeah, but
makes sense too. Like,
would you do it by yourself?
Why do anything?
That's the thing. Yes, I get what you're saying. Of
I don't
course,
know.
it's the adrenaline,
I'm going
but
skating by myself today. I'm going skating by myself after this call.
that's sick. I'm mostly skating by myself. I skate a lot by myself, like a lot. But what I say, like all these little things, like skating a mini ramp, I can do like all these little tricks. But would I skate a drop rail by myself? I would skate a regular rail by myself, no problem. But a drop rail is not the same, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, if you're really doing it for yourself, why not doing it alone? It's just a different thing, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, and I brought it up saying, what's the point of a drop rail? But now I'm going to stick to the other side and just say that's maybe the whole point of all of skating. Like, sure, it's fun to skate a mini, but then you want to push yourself, so you go skate the rail. Now you've conquered the rail, you want to push yourself, so you go to the drop rail. Maybe that's the whole point of it all anyway. So,
yeah, but pushing yourself, do you really think it always needs to be going bigger? There's a lot of different ways of pushing yourself.
No, exactly. Which is, I think, why I got more tech, because it's always a new thing, and I pretty much learn something new every day.
Yeah,
That's where the fun comes from. It doesn't need to be dangerous, although danger has its own. There's definitely a rush to that too.
yeah. I guess it's just
what I
one
was gonna say
factor.
about the high rails. High rails, because I canned myself so bad on the Cayenne tour. They didn't put it in the video, thankfully, because it was bad. So now I have, like, it was bad. I got hurt really bad skating the rails, so now I'm not doing that anymore. So I cracked my, like, coccyx or whatever, my tailbone.
Yeah, I know what coccyx is. Yeah,
Did some soft tissue butt damage. And
that sucks, man.
bad. So
Sorry
forget
about.
it. So if I test them out. If it's above my waist, I just like, maybe one trick. But that's good.
Not like the French guys, man. I've never got it. Like, did you remember Nicolas Bellini?
Yes.
That guy used to jump
Super
like
talented.
he was so good and used to jump so high. Anyway, who's your favorite skater nowadays? Do you have one?
Danny Beer, maybe Montre. I mean, not maybe Montre, but if I have to pick number one, probably Danny. I really enjoy watching Danny skate and skating with Danny.
He's
I'm just being
amazing.
biased to Canada, so Canada represent.
I don't know what you guys have in the water, but like, it's I
We
don't
have
know.
frozen. We don't have anything in the water. It's frozen. That's what we have. We have ice. That's where it comes from.
You know what?
We're
I don't
good
know.
at ice skating.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But I don't know if these make sense.
You know?
But I guess that because you guys have snow a lot of the year.
We're skating from the age we can walk, right? So by the you get old enough to walk a railing, you had skates on for 10 years or something. Or I think that's it. I mean,
No, but think about what I was going to say now. It's just like, imagine you guys cannot skate during the whole year because of the weather, which makes it like whenever you guys can skate, you put it all that you can. I don't know if these make sense, but somehow like you know, and like you
I
have
agree.
you know it. You lived in places which is sunny all year, so you end up, not that you get lazy, but it's like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the other day.
Okay, this is. I used to be like that, complaining, I can't skate all year, I can't progress as fast. But I disagree. I think, like you said, it's like the time off increases. Like, it's half mental, so the time off and the passion when you get back to it makes up the difference. But then I gotta say, since living in warm places, I've improved a lot faster and I'm more confident, and my skating has improved a lot from living where I can skate every single day. So I don't know.
So you think Danny Beer would be even better if he would live in a place with less snow?
No, because I think he'd already be over it. I think it's a combination. I think coming from a place like this and then going somewhere nice, that's the perfect storm. But the other way around, I think if someone came from Cali and then ended up moving here, they might as well just move.
They would freak out.
But I think going the other way, it's like you figure it out and you don't take it for granted, and you go somewhere where it's every day and you're just like, ah! Yeah.
Richie, did you ever thought of moving or living for a longer period of time in the US, like in California or New York or something like that, or Philadelphia?
Yeah, I used to dream of living in San Francisco. It was always my favorite city. But then I went to Australia and loved it there, so I moved there. And now I don't know about it anymore. I'm not so into it anymore. But you know, who knows? I try not to box myself in. You never know where I'll be. But yeah, I don't know. If I was to do that, I'd probably just stay in Canada, I guess. That's good.
Okay. Is there any place that you would like to? Is like a place that you want to visit and skate that you haven't been yet?
South Africa.
That's a good one. That's a good choice. Trust me.
Middle East. I'd like to go, for example. Don't know. I've never been to Argentina. I'd love to see it there. Brazil.
You never been to Brazil?
South America, for example, was incredible. The scene there is amazing. The people are amazing. The food, everything, the climate, geography. I've been there a couple of times through the whole west coast and north bit, and just loved it. I would go back there.
It seems like everyone that goes there. I've never been to South America. I'm probably going soon to Brazil, I'm not sure, but from everyone that have been to South America to skate, everyone somehow wants to go back. An example is like Roman Abrati, and now like that guy Yara from Czech Republic, and I don't know, I don't know if it's just girl related, you know what I'm saying, but
okay. Yeah, could be. I think it's just the scene is huge, you know, and it's a nice place. It's cheap, it's warm, the food's good, and the people are good.
It's the opposite hemisphere, man. Just like South Africa, when everyone else is complaining about the cold, they go to the summer.
Yeah, I heard you talk with Josh about that, and I was laughing because that's what I've been doing. I've been chasing the sun for years and years.
So you gotta
not necessarily South America, but just when winter comes, I'm on my way.
you got.
I lived enough winters, you know. I lived like I don't know how many years of winters, probably 13 or 14 years. You had it all up with freezing to death, -40. That's enough.
So there's the first, like, you know, one of the most known surf videos used to be called Endless Summer, and they had like the Endless Summer 1, which I think it was made like in the 70s or in the 80s, and then like
I've seen those.
And then there was Endless Summer 2, like made, I think it was like early 2000s. I think your video should be called Endless Summer 3, and it's like a skating video, but like
interesting. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I don't have a title. I've worked on various titles, but we'll see.
Maybe the Endless Summer, man.
It's interesting. But that's the name of like a cult surf video. I can't really. It's not really fair. Maybe I could be Endless Sun.
You can make the Endless Spring. It's already sunny if you need.
You know, originally it was supposed to be called Phuket. It was like, you know, Note and I made Bangkok.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like people loved it or whatever. I loved it. And we were going to make another one, Bangkok 2, but we were in Phuket. So we filmed for that. And I went home to edit and I lost like a folder. I don't know what happened. I went to friends to show them a few of my favorite clips. Not to show them, but we were talking about it. And he's like, oh, show me something. So I went to find a few of my favorite clips to show. And I couldn't find them. And I had been organizing hard drive and stuff. I guess I deleted them. Somehow they got lost, so the project got put off. And I went back 6 months later and worked to finish it. And then one thing after another has blocked this project. So now it's been like 5 years and it's changed directions 10 times. And so now I don't know what it's called. It was originally Phuket, but now it's a combination of unfinished projects going over 5 years.
That's I don't know, man.
Something like that.
So I work with this guy, like in my office shop, whatever you want to call it. Like there's this guy. He's like one of my favorite guys, filming, editing, whatever. His name is Greg Fraser, and it reminds me a lot of that because I don't know if have you seen that guy Earl Abrams from South Africa? There was a video of him.
Yeah, I've met Earl a few times.
Yeah,
in China.
okay.
Yeah.
And have you seen the Earl Abrams files that was filmed and edited by Greg over the last 4 or 5 years? And it's amazing. It's seriously amazing.
No.
So you need to see it. I really think you're gonna like it a lot. The thing is,
I need all the inspiration that I can get.
Yeah, you will love it because there's a lot of kids and there's a lot of talking, but like cool talking, you know, like you'll see. I'm gonna send you the link right after. The thing is, this guy somehow reminds me of what you're talking about, which is like this guy Greg is like, it takes a long, like he always wants the clips to be on a certain way, and I'm not just talking about skating, it's in general. He does a lot of other stuff video related, but then it puts himself so much into that sweet spot that then somehow it's hard for him to advance, you know, like you want it, some things need to be on that standard, and then because you, like you said, you're skating every day and feeling like you're getting better every day, then the next day you do another trick, so the trick that you did yesterday it's not enough anymore.
Okay, I'm not feeling that because I just file them away and forget about it. So
I hope, man. I told you more than once. I just want you to know that, like the rest of the world, no matter what, whoever told you that you didn't perform good or whatever, the world wants to see your skating no matter what. And I know that you're super picky in a good way. You want something to be really, really good, but whatever you're gonna be doing, it's gonna be amazing. So just be confident. That's if I can tell you something, advise you on something, it's gonna be amazing. We know it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Right now, I'm not worried. I'm kind of like, it's almost like I pretended it doesn't exist anymore, and then my psyche is more relaxed in a better place. So, but it will get done. It's just,
and what
I think now it's taken so long that when it does get done, it will be better for it. There was a period, like sort of where I thought, oh no, it's been too long. Now it's going to be crap. But now it's past that, back to the sweet spot.
Yeah.
So it'll be awesome again.
Yeah. Now whenever it comes out, people are not expecting anymore, right?
Yeah. And there's new stuff, old stuff. There's a few pieces from each year pretty much, so I don't know how I'm going to put it together. And it's been put together half and half, and then scrapped. Like you say, it's like I'm my own enemy when it comes to creativity. Get my own way.
But that's normal. It's like that's the biggest problem when people are actually super creative and have new ideas the whole time. The new idea is always better than the old one, and sometimes it's hard to filter those. You don't have problems if you put a video out every day like I do, but it's actually it's completely different.
I've been like kind of against that at first, but I'm starting to understand and accept it.
Man, it's completely different. But I don't have any problems to talk about it. It's like I'm not trying to. Basically, the thing is the way I'm trying to learn a lot about the YouTube algorithm, and I really want to learn about it. It's obviously because it's like a way for me to put something into skating, because there's a lot of kids out there, man. It's crazy the amount of people that watch stuff through YouTube. And yes, we do need stuff like whatever you do, like that's what we need the most. Obviously, we need that type of content, like really, really good quality content. But we also need other type of like, we need tutorials, we need like stuff that no one else was doing, basically, like the product reviews, little things that I do it every day with people asking me, hey, what do you think about this skate? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so record it.
Yeah, and I have access to that, so why don't I record it and put it out? And then at the same time, other than doing something for skating, I'm also learning about something that somehow can be my future, because the truth is, think about it, all these brands spending huge amounts of money to make ads and stuff like that. If when someone is posting something, if it's not posted the right way, it's worth nothing. And I've been learning about all that stuff. That's what I've been doing the most. Like when I post a video per day, I'm building a database, and somehow I'm learning basically about the algorithm. I end up trying new things, new tags, new times to post, new whatever. It's a whole learning process that it's related to skating. I love doing this stuff related to skating, but at the same time, it's not just that, it's more than that. So That's it.
Right.
But
So that's good. Then I think we need it all. Like, I don't know. We need everyone to do what they want to do, I think, and not worry.
yeah,
So if you're going to post every day with questions you get at the shop, that's part of it. And if someone's going to take 5 years to make a video, that's another part.
yeah, of course, but I do not complain. Like I said, we need all that stuff. We need the Kelso's thing. We need the Roman Abrati traveling to South America for a full season and do a video. We need your 5 years video. We need the VODs from Dustin that just came out yesterday or 2 days ago. We need we need Dustin's videos made with a phone, which I don't even know how the hell it does it, because he does amazing stuff with his phone. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's creative genius.
He is amazing, and you can see that on his skating. So, one other question: have you been skating a lot with big wheels?
Yeah, every day, for sure.
Like Richie's, like Rebeski style stuff, or no?
Yeah,
like I mean, like bigger wheels, like 3-wheel skates and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, skate. I've had a pair of 125s with towels, power side towel, and Trinity mount and all that. I've had that in my bag all year. It's like my bike. I was in Denmark for 6 weeks just recently, and that's how I get around.
That's amazing.
I went off-roading. Since the Powerhouse, I sort of got back into bigger wheels. Like we put some 80s on our Shadows or whatever, and that was like the way to get around.
Yeah, I know. You.
And ever since then, can't let go.
You guys started a thing, man.
I don't know if we started it, but whatever, we kept it going.
Nah, you did. You guys did start something, that power blading thing and all that. Just like it was just a different thing, because everyone else was just like, the wheels were getting small. Man, I had a Pro Models wheel, like a 54 millimeter. Man, I can't imagine myself skating a 54 anti-rocker wheel right now.
At the time, though, that was really useful. That's still useful now. Skating 54 flat. The frames are different now.
Yeah. Flat would be amazing, not anti-rocker, man.
But was that not the point of it? Or you weren't skating?
I was skating that shit anti-rocker. 54.
Oh, see, because I got those wheels in the mail, and I got Ian McLeod had something like that at the time as well, somewhere around those years, and I wore them flat. I thought that's what they were.
That's you being smart and me being dumb. But you know what? It was so much easier.
Rocker.
It was so much easier for topsides.
Hey, on a ledge or something, but it's funny because I find the taller frames better for topsides.
Yeah, I know. That's for sure.
You got this big paddle and you just smack it in, and maybe it's harder to balance, but not like boot tricks, for example. A backslide, you can backslide forever or torque forever on a taller frame.
But torques are harder, man. I feel it a
harder
lot.
to bend, but easy to balance.
Yes.
Like if you think about the two contact points, you've got a bigger space, so you're on a bigger, not on a needle, like a fast slide. You're on a.
I guess it's like what you're trying to say is like the triangle as a wider base, so it should have more balance. Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. I never thought about it, but it's me being lazy, man. I hate jumping and. So tell us.
Skatepark's fine.
Yeah. Are we having any big wheel 125 tricks in your endless summer tree section?
There's nothing in there yet, but yeah, there will have to be for sure. There's everything else is for Mega Ram, street, park, whatever.
What, you got Mega Ram clips in it?
Everything to do with skating.
Do you have Mega Ram clips in it?
I don't. Well, okay, that's a story. We can tell a story about Mega, but yeah, for the Mega is like Note, Suishiro, CJ, Takeshi, like at China Asian X Games, like the Mega there. Diego, you know Diego?
Yes, Dilo, yeah, I know.
Okay, here's the story. We're at the Asian X Games a few years ago in Shanghai. They have the mini Mega there, and we get a demo on it. They like throw us a bone, and there's a scooter and an inline demo while the skateboarders and BMX make mad cash off their contest. So we're out there, and it's the first day for everyone to ride to try the ramp. We got like an hour. And the street contest is tomorrow. It was quite a techie street course, so I was trying to ride to try this ramp, and I thought I can't afford to get hurt, and maybe Because at these Asian X Games, you make a couple G's even if you get last place or something. You know, like it's been a way that I've funded my travels back then. And so I didn't skate. I just filmed the guys, and they all tried. And Diego, like on his, I don't even know, he rode the ramp like for half an hour, and he goes like, I want to do backflip, you know, like swimming too. So he takes his clothes off, and in his underwear, no helmet, with a GoPro in his hand, he does this giant laid-out gainer backflip, like grabbing his crotch, you know, like a naked body backflip into Vegas. And like CJ was doing crazy stuff, you know, cork 9 and going up the vert wall fakey and like, you know, airwalking and almost crashing. And there was these BMX guys down at the sidelines in like knights of armor gear, like full-blown football suits, like full face helmets and like pads and all this shit. And they're just like aiding on like my friends jumping the ramp like this. And it just is, I'll never forget this, because this is everyone's first day on the ramp, and they're within 10 minutes they're doing like cork 9s and naked backflips and stuff. And there's these guys on the sidelines making like 10 G's to do like pretty much the same thing but on a bike, which, you know, no offense, I love BMX as well, but to land a backflip on a bike, you've got a large sort of radius that
it's a lot. It's like crazy to learn, but once you learn,
you're not going to. I think just like platers that learn backflips don't miss anymore either, but still, it's a more fine tuning, you know. But so these guys are down there, like their lives are doing it, they're happy, everything's good for them, and they're just like aiding. And I just saw it as like they're just threatened. Like, these guys in one day are already like, as far as an audience in the stands is concerned, they look just as good or better on their first day without any pads. And I just felt like, come on. But so there's footage from that, and I'll tell this story. I almost died on the nitrous surface. Actually,
what happened?
This was a year ago, and it was in mid-September last year. Like 2 years ago, I was in Scotland filming the flips, same in Quinny for a while, and I saw that Nitro Circus was coming to Calgary, like 7 hours from Regina, where I am now, my home, and I wrote Happy. I was like, man, you're coming up here, you know, awesome. I'm going to be home then. Like, I'm going to come hang out, watch the show. You think there's any chance you could I try the ramp, you know? So he's like, yeah, man, like, all right. Like, and I said, like, you know, you don't know this yet, but I just learned like 30 flips or something. So, like, I do have some skill on a ramp now, you know, like, I'm not just like, I'm not what I used to be. Like, I do kind of have something. I bet I could do something on it. Spin 5 or something, and everyone I've seen learn the flat spin in the first 10 minutes, like the fourth or fifth, drop in the airwalk once or twice, and then they just start racing. So like, yeah, let me on this, you know. So he says, yeah, sure. And then I found out they're also going to show in Regina. So I was like, oh man, like I just learned all these flips, and now Nitro's going to be in Regina. Like Chris and I are friends for a long time. I thought, I can't wait to go watch his show and also maybe you could get to be in it, you know. He's like, man, if you can get it in the warm-up, probably be in there. Let's see, you know, no promises. I thought, well, cool, I'll probably end up learning a trick, and then I can do the show in hometown or whatever, right? So he was in this other city called Medicine Hat the night before Regina, so I drove there. It's like 5 hours. I drove all the way there to try that warm-up, so I'd have an extra day in case it took an extra day to figure this out. So I got up on top of the ramp, like 10 minutes before the show. They're like, okay, now's our chance. And everyone's going in front of me, like all the guys from the show. I'm nervous. Like, it's really steep and scary, skinny. It looks like you're going to fall off the side when you drop in on it, you know. And I'm up there, like, shaking, kind of like, oh, man, I don't know about this anymore. And then, who was it, like, Catfish or whatever was announcing. He was standing on the landing ramp, and he's like, come on, guys. Like, you know, you gotta give it up. This guy, he's from Canada. He's one of yours. Like,
oh my god!
It looks like he's never tried the ramp before. You know, he's, like, let's give him some applause. So I was just like, all right, like punch myself in the face or something and just go in. And it was dusty or something. I don't know. Like, I was on my Aeon. I had 68 flat hockey wheels. I was testing some wheels, so I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna make an excuse or whatever, but. Probably just me, but it's the wheels and it's dusty and whatever. My feet washed out And
Before.
I bambied on the transition. Like I dropped in, and then at the transition, it's like pretty heavy G forces go into you, and I just like my feet slipped out, and I went down to like both inside kneecap with my legs spread out, and I skidded like that off the ramp. I went right off the top, grabbed on, and like off the ramp, and the ramp's like hanging on and dropping. I still dropped a bit, and everyone was kind of like, "Oh wow!" So I ran back up. I was like, "All right, I got this." And I thought, I gotta keep my knees not pinched, but like I gotta keep my legs strong so I don't slip out. So I go to drop in again, kind of nervous, but this time not as bad. I go for it, and I forgot about the G's, or like I was so concentrated on not slipping that I squatted so hard from the G's that I stayed squatted. And you know when you're squatted, like almost with your butt touching the ground, and you try to stand up, it takes a lot of force to stand up. And I tried my hardest to stand up, but as I was starting to get standing up, I'm already going up the ramp.
Oh my God.
So now the transition is like, you can't stand up when you go into a transition, that speed. So I went off the ramp super squatted, and right when my feet left the edge, I like exploded, in like trying so hard to stand up, my feet just went, and I was like half backflip, going at the landing, thinking like, oh my God, it was like adrenaline. I was high for days on this one, and I just thought like, oh, and then it looked like I'm gonna make it. I'm almost like looking up my shoulder, or I don't even know, like I'm feeling like I'm gonna land on my back on the knuckle of the ramp in between these two announcers, and then whatever, at least I'm gonna make it. Boing! I hit the corner of the knuckle.
No
that
way.
thing's it's pretty high, I don't even know. It's high. It's really high to fall from, and I went exploding back into the air the other direction. Now I landed on my back upside down into the knuckle with my head like hanging upside down to the ground and my feet in the air. And I went exploding back the other way, and I almost landed on the ramp again. Like I landed right next to the launch ramp, which is, if you watch a video of it or something, it's a distance. I landed right back next to the launch ramp on my feet. So I like half backflip, hit the thing, and then continued the backflip in the other direction, and ended up landing on my feet. Like, and Happy was already on the ground, like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And everyone was like freaking out. And I was ready to go again, but then like later in the day, I couldn't even walk or whatever.
The adrenaline was putting you there, but
the adrenaline, I was like, okay, let me try one more. Like, I'm ready. And they're like, man, maybe not. Maybe tomorrow. Like tomorrow in Regina, I couldn't really walk.
And that was your.
And then I went on.
Did you went in Regina?
That was so then the next day in Regina, I went to watch the show. They hooked me up like VIP, and I got to watch from the sidelines. The guys were really cool. The whole thing was amazing, but it was just super let down for me, super embarrassing. I was just telling people like, yeah, I'm going to be in this show, and I'll get you some tickets, and like, come watch. I missed that. So, not that you said about the mega. So I thought like, oh, this will be perfect. I can film a show with Chris, and it can tie into my mega with Takeshi, and like it can be this whole, like all these loose ends are tying together in the story.
It went the other way around. Man, did you have footage of that? Did anyone film it?
No. No. Well, maybe someone in the audience. It's never turned up. I thought for sure it would end up on YouTube or make sure tagged or something. But the thing is, like, we were all really confident that I would airwalk a few times and then do a 360 and then do a flat five and then do a front flip or something stupid. That's what everyone else has done, and that's like, and it's a resi landing, or like, I mean, it's scary, but it's as safe as you can get as far as a mini mega type thing is going. But so everyone was confident that like, yeah, don't film the first one, film like the third or fourth once I'm doing something cool.
It's sketchy, man. Like from what Dominic Wagner told me, it's easier to 360 than jumping forward.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's crazy. It's crazy how Chris can just drop it backwards, and I don't know, the sort of stuff it does.
Insane. And I don't know about that.
And have you seen the illusion 180 that he did? Like that was crazy. Just going backwards
on the
way.
Woodward one.
No, I guess he did it on the Nitro games,
yeah.
I think. Just like a illusion fake, like off cap. He goes looking over the right shoulder and then he spins the left way. It's just crazy.
I don't know if I've seen that. But the Woodward one is another level altogether. Like, I thought, same thing, you know, we were there years ago and I thought, probably not going to jump it, but I want to go look and like maybe whatever, I want to see it or whatever. And man, you could not, like, I would not do that ramp ever. You'd have to kill me or something. I don't know, like life or death. Maybe I would be like, okay.
The Woodward West or the Woodward?
Woodward West. It's so scary. Like,
I was there and I wanted to do it with the roller skates, but it was it's one of the things I keep want to try it, but I really want to do it, man. But I don't know, like
you got to do it. No way.
I told Miguel a few times, but like there was like the chains and they couldn't open it. I was the only one who wanted to do it, and it didn't happen. But Miguel keeps telling me whenever you come, you just need to send it. That's all he says it, but I don't know if I can, man. I'm scared of the speed bubbles.
I get that, but just I know that halfway down, dropping in on that thing, I'm gonna say like lay down.
You know what scares me the most?
To go up that vert wall. Like,
yes,
that's exactly. I can't do vert.
What scares me the most is the quarter pipe right in front of it.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, what do I do with that speed? I don't know if you have an idea, but like with the roller skates, when you're like in a surface like a skate light or like a proper cement, I truly believe that they are faster than inline skates because the hardness of the wheels, the wheels are a lot harder. So somehow they feel like they roll faster. I don't know if it's just me or I don't know.
Well, I could picture it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 100A wheels, and then the trucks somehow adjust to the transition. I don't know. It feels like they roll faster. So if it's already fast on inline skates, if I land on that shit, and if I go up that quarter pipe, what would I do? I have no idea. I think I would try to fall before getting there, you know?
Yes, and I think if you're good at vert, the more speed, it don't matter. It means you're just going higher. But if you know what you're doing, going higher doesn't really change anything if you're going straight up. But the thing is, like for me, I'll panic. And if you panic right before that wall and push or do anything the wrong way, like it's life or death now.
Dude, no.
And so, you know what I mean? Like I need to spend a couple of years on the vert ramp before I would ever try that at that kind of speed.
That's what amazes me the most about Chris, man. Chris used to be that kid skating on street dwellers, and that was it. The kid with K2s, with huge K2s skating on street dwellers. He was really good in street. I would never thought of that guy getting so good in ramps. And then...
yeah, well, he worked on it, right? He intentionally worked on it. Like,
yeah, obviously, but
that's
still.
What you got to do, I guess. It doesn't take anything away, very impressive. But that's like he did that on purpose, right? And it paid off. Props to him.
That's cool. I like it.
But yeah, he's street guy all through and through. Have you seen his show?
Yeah, I've seen it once, and let me tell you, that's the main reason why I'm in South Africa. The first time I came to South Africa was to see the Nitro Circus show. Yeah, I was working with this company from Angola, and they wanted to work. Like I went to a show in Angola, and the whole thing was a complete disaster. So I told them, like, seriously, the amount of money that you guys are spending here, you need to see what like action sports show is, at least the best, so that you can at least compare it with something. You can learn something from these guys. You're not gonna copy it, but that's it. So basically, I came with 2 guys from Angola just to see the show, and that's when I met my wife. Now, that was it. Yeah, I came to South Africa for 2 days, and I met my wife, and like 1 year later, I was here. And now, in 2 weeks from now, next week, Chris is coming for the Nitro Circus again in Cape Town. So I'm going again to watch it.
There you go. I saw it in Sydney, and I think Chris actually got the most sort of fan appreciation back then. It was like 9 or something.
He does one of the craziest things, man. That jump into that ball. I don't know how he does that.
True.
That's just, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that. He says that he gets hurt in that, and sometimes it's pretty dangerous actually to just slam into this stupid Zorb or whatever they call it.
Yeah, I don't know. I always been like, you know what? I already obviously like everyone else, I have like a huge amount of respect for him, and it's crazy that he's been doing it for so long, and I've never heard of him getting
Yeah,
like proper injured. You know, like of course, every now and then you know that he got injured, like he can't really skate the next day or the next few shows or something,
yeah,
but it's amazing, like the type of stuff that is like, because all the other guys, there's someone else doing it. He's doing it by himself. He's pushing
yeah, yeah.
himself, and is there's
He said he
that.
thinks he could do it till 70 once to me in Sydney. He said like it's just pure fun and it's not so like wear and tear on him. I don't know if he's changed his mind since then. That was when he'd only been doing it like a year or something. But he was like, man, I think I can just do this. So like till he's too old, you know.
Yeah, I guess it's, I don't know, that guy, like the other guy, the scooter guy that also rides the BMX. What's his name? I don't even know his name.
Ryan,
There,
Ryan Williams.
there. I don't know. This other scooter guy that is also really good with BMX. Every single show he does like a new trick, and like when I mean a new trick, it's like a double front flip with
Oh
four
man,
tail whips and.
yeah. You know, learn a new trick. Like in Regina, he's trying to do some world first
Yeah,
or whatever. He's like every time he gets on the ramp, he tries to do something new. It's
yeah, it's always the
inspiring as well.
world's first.
Yeah, that's a funny thing, right? We've never pushed that, but that's a funny. I've noticed some people get like pretty upset about that kind of stuff. Like if someone thinks they invented the trick and then someone else, like
No, I did it before.
one time, but yeah, like people are really sensitive about that stuff. Which, whatever, I guess. Like, I mean, cool. I don't know.
Man, if you think of it, it's possible to invent stuff. It's just why? What do you get out of it?
Right? Yeah, how many world firsts have you done? You've probably done
I've done
like
the Michael
hundreds.
Jackson, the moonwalk, the 7 moonwalks.
And all the like roller skate drawings and stuff.
Ah man,
Whatever.
that's not world's first. I'm sure that like the old guys, the old school guys on roller skates, those guys were amazing. Have you seen that stuff?
True.
Those
Yeah.
guys like
Do you
that
know
Fred
Toto
Blood.
Gali?
Yeah, of course I know Toto. Toto is like
Okay.
amazing,
Yes,
huh? But like, do you
yeah.
remember Rene Ulgrin?
Yes.
Man, he used to do forward nines and used to do front flips and yeah,
On
front
roller
flips and
skates,
forward
yeah.
nines on like over the spine on roller skates. Like we're talking about early.
Front flip on a spine is ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine on roller skates? Because on inline skates, if you land on the coping, you can still roll it somehow. On a roller skate, it's so easy that you get like, if you get hooked on the spine, you die, man. It's just like
Ooh, right. Yeah, your wheels totally
your
hang
back
out. I
truck
see what you mean.
gets stuck in
Coming
there, and it's just like that.
in.
Anyway,
I guess whatever. I would like to learn vert. And when I was at Ticket, like the Yasuko Park, I tried, but they have a big vert ramp, and I just like I'm so nervous on there, and
did you skate a
it's
vert?
just like yeah. I mean, I try all the time. When I was coaching the Thai team, I tried to. This was just after the Asian X Games with the Mini Mega, and I was like, okay, I need to learn vert so I can come and skate this ramp next year and like do something and then launch the vert. So every day at the Thai camp, I went and pumped the vert for 20 minutes on my own or whatever by myself.
Hmm.
But it didn't really go anywhere. And then I went and I learned from the Yasutokos and I tried, and I still like on their ramp, I'm scared to even stall the ramp, which is embarrassing.
I know.
I mean,
Like,
I'm from the flattest place on earth with no vert ramps, with not even a hill in this town. It's just like weird for me. Maybe I'm
I'm
afraid of heights or something.
yeah. I don't know. I'm also like me in vert ramp. I would love to skate a vert ramp like more often. When I was still in Portugal, I was trying to get a little bit more into higher ramps, and somehow with the roller skates I could skate it better than with the inline skates. But I don't know. It's just not my thing.
Cool. Everyone says it's a good thing to do as you grow up or whatever, get older, because it's like
Yeah, when you
once
fall, it's
you
on the
know
transition.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not so hard on you. So I'm going to learn it. It's just a matter of time. But
Well, I started.
it's just
I was building a mini ramp at home this week, so it's almost done.
at home, nice.
Yeah, so I guess like next year I'm gonna put it higher, and then the next year higher, and then in like 5 6 years I might have a vert ramp.
Is that what you're gonna do? Yeah, you're gonna add.
No, I do.
Add an
I think I
extension
do
to
it.
it all the time.
And I'm kidding. Like, but I think I do have space for a vert ramp maybe because my backyard is huge, man. I don't know.
There
Yeah, you gotta come visit, man.
in Cape Town.
Yeah, it's
And,
like
yeah, I would
it's
like to
right
see.
outside the city, but I really like this place. It's cool. It's like
Do
five.
you have? It's quite south, so is there a cold winter? Like, what's it like?
Yeah, man. When it's winter, which is like the European summer, it rains quite a little bit, but we're having problems with water right now because it didn't rain enough this winter. But in the summer, it doesn't get too hot. It's like it's Africa, but we're really really close to the South Pole.
Because it's so south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I usually compare this to where I used to live in Portugal. The weather is like just like where I used to live in Portugal. So yeah, it rains a little bit in the winter, but not that bad. And in the summer, it doesn't get too hot. It's not like in the middle of Africa. So it's cool. The only thing that I don't like, it's like the water is really cold, and we have a lot of sharks, man. And I used to surf a lot in Portugal, and since I moved here, I've never surfed. I'm just scared of sharks. But I guess that's just
me too. But other people surf a lot, though, right?
Yeah, it's always like lots of people, and it's just a mental thing. Cause, dude,
Yeah, exactly.
the guy that I was just telling you, that video guy, Greg, he's like a really really good bodyboarder, like probably one of the best in South Africa, and that's how he got into video. And he was just like, he has a friend that died, like with a shark, but it's just saying like it's almost like yeah, but he still surfs every single day, and it says like it's so hard for that to happen. It's almost like you need to be the chosen one. It's almost like a good thing, you know. It's almost like a good thing because you were the chosen one that happened to you. It's just
I bet you the statistics are way higher. You die skating than surfing.
Way more. Sure. I'm sure. That's not even
in Sydney. Like I was scared too, and I've always been scared of the water. But I know it's like the locals. They'd just be like shock, and they'd move like a couple meters away. Like I would just watch and think like, oh my god, like, well, and then after a while, you know, you see that a few times and you think like, they're there every day and they don't even care. So I started like forcing to turn off my fear, you know, kind of like skating, and I stopped worrying about it.
Did you ever got into surfing? Did you ever try to surf like?
Yeah, like yes and no. I tried a bit. I loved it, but obviously it's very hard when you're starting, and I was just like too into skating at the time.
And it's somehow frustrating, man, because you go like in the beach and then you're like these 30 years old guy or like 25 or 35 or whatever, and then you see the kids that just getting so good at that. It's, I don't know.
I'm not even catching a wave and everyone's going skating in 2 hours and I'm like, all right, I'm going to skate.
Do you think that some people might feel that with skating? Like, cause
oh yeah, I'm sure.
Imagine like,
speaking of, I felt it in Australia going skating with Ryan and CJ. I would go and, you know, just, there goes your confidence. Like, you suck compared to those guys. So I would go skating and just be like, damn, okay.
Yeah, Ryan is seriously
more work to do.
Ryan is something else, huh?
Yeah.
CJ
so, yeah,
too.
I am sure. Yeah, they're both awesome. So if I feel that, then yeah, imagine a beginner coming to whatever winter clash or something. I'm sure it's very intimidating.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've said a few times already. I love that type of events, but somehow I sometimes feel that for some people it's not as motivating that as they would think, because like some people go there and they think they're gonna compete or they're gonna skate, and then when they get there they see all this crazy stuff going on and they just stay in their corner and they're scared of doing anything, and just like it's frustrating.
I kind of do that. Like, imagine you go to the biggest party of the year and you know everybody there, but you don't remember all their names, but you probably stayed on like almost everyone's couch. So they're like, hey, and then, you know, you try to skate around and everyone's trying to like kill themselves to prove something, and then someone crashes into you, and then someone asks like tucked in your ear, and then so I just end up like toe rolling around in the middle where no one can really, where I can just watch and be free. So I feel it, man. If I'm gonna go fast, someone's gonna like. A lot of my friends say no. He's like punctured a lung at a contest, crashing into someone. Stuck that ripped his knee apart. I've just seen and heard of so many, and I've had my own collisions where it's so crowded. I'm just totally thrown off my element there.
I guess what must be the most frustrating, especially for you, it's like if it's someone else, like this guy would do a 540 alley-oop topsoul, whatever, 720 Makio, and it's just another guy who did it. You know what I'm saying? But if you do something like that, you try a 720 Makio, but there will be this guy trying the fakey 720 Makio because Richie got a pro skate. So if I do the fakey 900 to Makio, yeah, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like they want to prove themselves that they can do something or the same as you do or different or better. You know, like what I'm trying to say is just like the proving that point that somehow a lot of people, when they do it, they think they're doing it for themselves to make them look good, but they're just looking stupid and they're killing our pros somehow. Because it's like
we should be killed, I guess.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. I can't understand it. Like, I keep saying the same. I was never at the same level as you were, or anything like that, or being known alpha of what you are. But like, I remember going to some tours and like trying a back Savannah or like a long ledge, and that would be this guy. He would need to do full cab back Savannah, just to, you know, like just to say like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah,
just
I've
like,
lived that repeatedly. Or they like sometimes it feels like they think that if they impress, say like Nick or I on some tour, that we're gonna like pull them out of this town and take them to like, you know, stardom or something. Like, and it's like people think it's this glamorous thing, but at the end of the day, like these are just homeless dudes that you saw on YouTube coming to your town and jamming around. Like, I mean, it's not like we have a van or a hotel, or like that's sometimes the thing. People are like, well, why are you skating? And like, my neck has a cramp because well, why? I slept underneath a kitchen table last night. But you're not in a hotel? Like, no. I slept on the floor.
No, I guess a lot of people don't have an idea of how many skates are done, or like they think like, exactly. Yeah, you have a pro skate, you're gonna make a lot of money, but people don't even know like the loyalties, how do they work, how much do you make per skate. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that I remember you when I saw you in Barcelona, you were super excited about the bearings. You said like, I would never expect to make that much money for the bearings.
Yeah, Jake and Go Project, man. Props to Jake. Jake's treats me well.
I know, like that was sick because you were like really, really excited, and it's crazy to think of it because most of the people that watches skating in general, that just like skating, I understand because they're not into the inside the industry the same way as you are or as I am, but it always looks like it. Maybe it's our own problem to make it look like that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's not anyone's fault if they think I'm like Justin Bieber or something. That's not really their fault. But that's kind of like part of my issue, I guess. Is like there's so much criticism of all these pros, and like these are just like, they're my friends, so I'm gonna back them up. But they're just guys who are slightly better, and not even always better than other people. But you know, they're marketable, or they take the initiative to make things for themselves or get places. They're just like, if I'm at Winter Clash, like I'm on my own vacation most of the time. You know, I brought myself or whatever, and so for someone to criticize like what I'm gonna do at Winter Clash, it's like, man, get out of my face. Like, let me come to your town and criticize what you're doing on your vacation with your girlfriend. You know, you come to visit your friends, and I'm like, man, you did 720 today, and I saw you with a beer.
You
like,
didn't 720.
Like, this is like it. I don't know. It bothers me. They're just regular guys out skating, and if a pro comes to my town, you know, like, hallelujah or whatever. Like, this is a great day. It's not like, oh, stupid pro didn't. I don't know. It's just I feel like, don't criticize these guys because there's not much keeping them coming to your town and helping you sell it. So keep it up and let them come. That's what happens with me sometimes. I don't need to come there next time.
Nah, man. I could like. I guess the main thing with these things, seriously, with these little talks, whatever we're doing here, it's just like sometimes guys like you, and there's more, obviously, in this, like sometimes you guys just need to express or to somehow put it out there what you guys feel about it, and it's not, and you're not gonna put something like that on a social media, or you're not gonna on your own stuff, you know, you're not gonna make an Instagram post about like, today I feel frustrated because this and that.
But I do sometimes, and then I regret it because it's like, like sometimes I just do it and then I think, okay, but so I'm not even allowed to be myself because I'm supposed to be like,
you're a toy salesman.
Like even more frustrating, you know. Or like people often they love to tell me what my job is. Like my job technically has been to make videos. You know, that's it. And and I haven't been always doing that, but I've been, say, being in the town or doing camps or doing all these other things. My job is to sell skates, so let's break it down like that. But what I'm usually paid for is to work on a project. And so I'll go to somewhere and they'll be like, oh, like, you know, and I want to go work on my project so I can afford to be in your town this week. And then people will be offended and be like, no, like, you're pro, you need to come and do this or that. And it's like, excuse me, like if you're going to pay me, then you can tell me what my job is. But if you're not, and actually you're only going to make money off me, then you need to back up. Then I'll, you know what I mean? It's like I shouldn't be offended by it, but it's pretty hard not to be.
Yeah, I guess
I'm giving everything I have, and you know, getting that kind of.
It's something like when you first start something, you offer a lot and all that, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, but after a while, you start getting like, man, I'm losing who I am to be who you all want me to be, and I'm not the circus clown. I'm the reason why I got where
everything.
Yeah, the reason why you got to where you got, it's because you were yourself. And when you lose that, and then
you're not allowed to be yourself anymore because someone recognizes you now.
But I guess you do that pretty well. You, like just what you're telling me right now, and like somehow making people wait for your videos for various reasons. It doesn't matter what they are, but like stuff like
by accident.
No, I'm not saying by accident, but like sometimes.
Well, it was by accident.
Not just that, but think about it. If you're trying to be super selective with your stuff, or like by accident, doesn't matter. You create that hype around. You remember too, I'm pretty sure, when Dustin Latimer didn't put nothing for a while, when there was something coming out, everyone was just like, oh, I want to see it, and they're doing like these running up the tree, whatever. It was just different. I don't know, people was expecting that, so yeah.
Quality over quantity, and it's an argument I've had for.
Come on, man, don't do that.
Years.
Don't throw me down like that. I'm kidding. Huh?
Well, it depends on your definition of quality, right? Like, I mean,
nah, I'm like, I get it, man.
You made it all.
No, I totally get it. I'm, you know, like when I do, when I say this, I make that, I say that the whole time. It's just, it's completely different, and I'm not like I'm not a professional skater. That's the first thing. I am a professional skater, but on a different level. I'm not paid to perform, basically, as a competition skater or anything like that. I do my own thing, and I don't know. That's sometimes
how I feel. Like maybe I should just work again, and then I can come to the event. Like if I just worked for the winter, I could travel for the summer in total luxury and feeling good and owing nothing to anyone and not being. Or sometimes I feel like that's what I need to do, and then. But I'm sure then it's going to be even more frustrating because then I'm going to be like super offended when someone gets in my face. Now I can kind of handle it, you know. I'm like, well, you know, I know you're saying this, but here I am in your town teaching kids and like, you know, trying my best and putting out a video about your town or something. Like, I can kind of be like, I don't agree with you, so I can let it go with the two of us in my face. I'm sure I would get more frustrated if I was fully out of the game and still at.
You would never be out of the game because it's your thing. It's like it's
that's important.
that's the thing. Is like you're too much into it to be completely out.
Yeah.
You probably would try to be out, like social media and all that stuff, but in the end, you'd still be doing your own thing, and that's basically what happened to me. Like when you went to Portugal, I wasn't skating like every day. I couldn't skate every day. Like I just couldn't. But I was riding my bike, and I was with the skater kids almost every day. I was with Rodrigo and Martin almost every day.
Yeah.
It's just like
That's
it's different because you're just so much into it that you just can't be away. That's it.
Yeah, that's my thing. Every year I'm like, I won't be here next summer at all these events, blah, blah, blah. And then next summer comes and there's a camp in one town. So I'm like, I can't miss that camp. And then someone's like, okay, and there's Roskilde. And I'm like, just 100 of my friends.
Okay, just one more.
Campsite, Okay, I'll go to Roskilde and the camp. And then if I'm there 3 weeks later, there's this other camp. Okay, I'm there for 5 weeks now. Okay, before I know it, it's September and I'm coming home again. Exhausted. I'm like mad at half the industry. And then by the next summer, I'm like feeling good again. So I've been saying it for years and years.
Dude, let me tell you something. So
Can't let go.
I would love to do another one of these when you once come to South Africa, because right now we had like today we had like all these technical difficulties, if you can say it.
Oh yeah.
But one day, it doesn't matter if it's for skating or
Well,
not.
I would like to come soon.
Yeah, whenever you want. Like I told you before, you can stay. You don't have a couch, you have a room. But
Thank you.
but whenever
Hey,
and you have a
speaking of
mini
that-
ramp, and probably if you take too long, it's gonna be a vert ramp. But don't take too long.
Either way.
But whenever that happened, then we'll make a different one, and then we'll talk about the progression from what happened to today, like from what we spoke today to that day, no matter when that is.
And likewise, you and everyone that I've ever stayed with is welcome to stay with me if you can find where I am.
I would love to go to Canada, man. I would seriously love to go to Canada,
You're
but
welcome
at
to
the
come.
moment, right now, for me to leave, to go anywhere, is just almost
Oh, you got
impossible.
visa issues, right?
Yeah, like right
Or
now, just
family?
no, it's not even that. Like now, it's with the baby. Like I can't leave my wife with a.
Yes.
We have a 4-month-old baby, so I just can't. For me to, even if I go to Winter Clash, which I think I'm going this year, I don't know, man. I would love to go to ISPO, but it's 3 weeks before. It's impossible for me to be away for 3 weeks now. So I guess,
Are you going to Clash?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So
I might go.
I'm not sure. Like the thing is, I'm pretty sure that I'll go to the Winter Clash, but if I go to ISPO, I would need to go to ISPO, then come back here, and then back to Europe just for the Winter Clash. That would be so expensive. I don't know, but I would still love to go to ISPO because it's related to my work. So I'll see.
Okay. I've never been to this.
Man, you'd love it, and you would hate it. It's just, you would hate it because it's so small, the skating part.
Okay.
Like a lot of
Well,
people
that's
have these, but you know what it is. So and then you would love it because you'll see a lot of different things from a lot of different brands, and
yeah.
not just
I
skate.
used to go to ASR.
Not just skate related.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying, yeah, basically that's the same.
Action sports. Same
Yeah,
thing.
but I'm even talking about like from other brands. You'll go to like it's like a sports show, ISPO. It's not just about
Yes.
action sports, like all types of sports. And then they have this
Okay.
part, which is like the Asian part. Like they have 2 huge halls just with the Asian stuff. Dude, it's just, you know it. You've been in Asia, so it's crazy. Anyway, I guess we're gonna stop this for now, and then we're gonna need to make part 2 whenever you come to South Africa.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about your family and talk about blading camps and stuff. Just whatever, blading camps. It's the one.
Yeah, go for it.
You
Go
at
for
a
it.
blading camp. I don't know. It's just that to talk about it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's like
I don't
it's
know
like
what to
what
really say.
I'm
Just
like really
hope
really
everybody-
excited about what Josh told me the other day. I had no idea what the blading camps really were, and
Well, it's just like he said. Like it started sort of indie. We just got invited here and there, and then we wanted to make it our own. Josh put in all the work and made it happen, and it's happening. So now it's, I don't know, it's official. And I was only at one of them this year, but it was one of the best. It was the best week of the summer, I guess, probably. And one of the best weeks ever. Just is, yeah, it's great. I don't know. Like you
And-
said, like a family.
it's
And it's
it would be cool to expand like out of Europe, like whatever.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential to expand it in a lot of ways. I mean, even we could have like a parents' camp or something. Like there's endless, I guess. So, big things. I hope.
I hope it works out really good. And if I can, whatever I do, whatever I can, like if I can help somehow, like I'm here, I would love.
Well, let's do one. Let's do one down there.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm like the only problem here that I see would be like the disadvantaged kids, but I'm sure that I would find a group that would be able to do it. We just need to like maybe let's try to sort it through email or something like that. You guys need to tell me how many kids you need or how much people do you need, and we try to organize the whole thing.
Well, like Josh said, depending on the situation, sometimes we need it to work, and other times we come, just give our time away. Like it depends on the scene,
Yeah,
and to me, it's just something that we can maybe create something for ourselves to survive in this skating while like feeling good about it. Like giving something.
Yeah, of course, but we all need to leave. So
that's what I mean. So, but what better way than if like. I don't know, it just feels good to live that way to me instead of selling a wheel or making a video. That's my favorite thing to do is be face to face and skate with the people, meet fans and influence kids and whatever, and hopefully for the better.
Of course, it's gonna be for the better. There's no other way. Right. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna mail you guys in the morning. I'm gonna mail you, and I think I got Josh's email, and from there I'm gonna try to see how much you guys tell me what you need, and I'll try to put it all together and see what we can do in South Africa. That would be amazing. I would love to. I would love to have it. I'm trying to somehow bringing skate back, because skating used to be big here, man. Skating used to be quite big in South Africa. But I don't know I don't really know what happened here. It's just somehow started dying, and like once the numbers start going down, I guess just the main guys importing skates, they just
it's a wave, man. You're doing your part to push the waves, and you gotta wait for the next
yeah. I guess it's just like when people are in it just for the business, like when they don't have the passion for it, it's harder. So they see numbers, and when the numbers go down, they're the first ones to jump out of the boat. And that's what happened with Salomon, and that's what happened with other brands. That's what happened with Nike to skateboarding, to snowboard, and somehow snowboard is almost dying. So we'll see.
That's crazy too. But I'm happy that skiing is doing okay, and skiing is close in a row. So.
Yeah, that's good for us. It's really good for us. And I was talking about it today. Maybe that's why it's a good time for us, because Rollerblade is owned by Nordica. K2 is like big in skiing, so there's money coming from these brands. Probably that's why they're investing a little bit more in our sport now.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, there's money. There's money in skiing. Rollerblade is Nordica. K2 is skiing, so there's money to be put. I don't know if they cross their different markets, but
cross promotions. Well, maybe in time. I've always had an idea that now with all these longer frames and bigger wheels, what about like a free ski type inline skate, like 8 wheels with a bit of a curve and lip at the front and the back? It'd be so fun to skate in a skate park and do flips and stuff. For example, the Mini Mega on like an 8-wheel inline skate. Then flips are gonna be.
Have you ever tried
down? So fun.
Have you ever tried 5-wheel skates, like proper 5-wheel skates, like downhill skates?
I think a long time ago, but not for more than 10 minutes.
Dude, I've been skating 5-wheel skates lately. It's amazing, like for sliding and stuff like that. It just feels so like when you. Like, I like the 3-wheels feeling because it's just easy to get into slides and you can lean a lot more and all that stuff. But if you're going like proper fast, if you want to do a slide, the 5 wheels will allow you to be a little bit lower, and then because you have 5 wheels of grip, you can lean a lot more without being scared of slipping out, and you can actually go like really, really fast and slide like control, just like if you're in snow. It's amazing. It feels really, really sick. But I guess you need
Okay.
to come to South Africa, and I'll let you try my setup.
Okay, it's on my list. Need to go.
All good, man.
My parents
So
have been very raised.
I'm gonna let you go now, and I'm gonna go next to my wife, or she's gonna kill me.
Okay, all right, we can go
Okay,
on.
it was really nice
so
talking to you, man.
just-
Tell me.
Likewise. I wanted to just say thanks to everyone who's ever let me stay with them or been cool to me or helped me out. Please, if you're listening.
I guess everyone was
Appreciate
happy
it.
to have you around. So
And I owe you back, Eventually I'll be able to pay you back.
man,
Cheers for everybody.
I'm sure people were happy to having you around. So I guess it's good from you to say that. But
Thank you. I hope so. I mean,
Cheers.
it's, like, as much as sometimes I feel uncomfortable or whatever, bottom line is, like, the people, the family, or whatever, my friends have made it all happen, so thanks. That's it. Thanks to them. Thanks to
Man,
you.
thank you
You
so
hooked me
much,
up with
Richie.
Undercover. Yes, thank you, too.
Nah, man, so good. Thank you so
Nice to
much.
chat with you.
Just keep being awesome. Cheers, man.
Likewise, bro.
Cheers. Thank
Take
you.
care.
And that was it. Richie Eisler. I'm sorry, guys, if we had some technical problems, but something that we couldn't change. Other than that, I really hope you guys enjoy this skate talk with Richie Eisler, one of the best skaters ever, as much as I did. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give me some thumbs up if you like it. If you didn't like it, let me know what you didn't like about it. I'm sure the sound wasn't the best, but we tried our best. We made Richie walk a lot. And that was it, guys. Just like I always say, don't forget why we all started skating, because it's fun. Cheers. See you soon.
Vou viver até quando